Austin saying there's 30 NFL players that can't play in the NBA, but there's 30 NBA players that can't play in the NFL. I think everybody should respect everybody's craft. I don't think there's 30 NBA players that can play in the NFL. I don't think there's 30 NFL players that can play in the NBA. Now, they're going to have some freaks of nature, some guys that can just play whatever. That's any sport. We all athletes. My problem where this conversation is going is I don't like the fact that the NFL players are saying their argument is, oh, y'all soft. Like, y'all flop, this and that. And let's be clear, y'all must flop too. Is football more than running, jumping, catching? Hell yeah. It's agility, it's smart, it's chess, it's being able to beat your man off the line, trying to keep somebody in front of you that's trying to beat you off the line. I respect all of that shit. But when we start getting into the conversation about basketball players being soft, this and that, basketball is way more contact than we get credit for. He's on both sides, bro. So I don't want this conversation to get swayed like we the only ones. No. I see some of y'all niggas catching that ball, getting down too. Let's not make this a physicality conversation. Let's talk about skill. Catching that ball is a skill. Being fast is that is a skill. Being able to read defenses and trump that matchup, that is a skill. Shooting a jump shot, way harder than all that shit, man.
Did he just say shooting a jump shot?
Let me jump in. So a lot of what he said, I don't have a problem with. I came on this show and I said, listen, I think it's just disrespectful to say that about any sport, to say 30 players in any sport go play the other sport. But if we're going to have a conversation, I do believe there's 30 NFL players that go do basketball, versus the other way around. My thing is this, though, like, you got to bring up the physicality, though, Lou. That's the main part of what football is a man's sport. The physicality, being able to get knocked down and continue to get back up. You know, to go out there with broken ligaments, sprained fingers and arms, bruised up. Like, it's been time when I went out on the football field and my body felt horrible, but I had to put full pads on. I had to go out there and hit. And I'm sure basketball players have had similar experiences as well where they didn't feel good at all. They had to go hoop, but it's a difference. And he's right. There's soft players in every single sport. But there's a difference between being soft in basketball and being soft in football. There's levels to it. A soft basketball player couldn't last one full practice in football. A soft football player can make it through a whole season in basketball. So he's right. It's soft, but there's levels to being soft is what I'm saying. And soft in hockey, soft in baseball, soft in volleyball, soft in soccer, soft in football. Those are all different types of softs. So now listen, a few minutes ago or an hour or so ago, I told JB about another segment that, hey, you think everybody in the generation is soft. Everybody's soft. So I agree with you. Not every basketball player is soft. That's disingenuous. We shouldn't say that. Not every single basketball player is just soft. But the nature of the sport itself is just a much softer sport. So to just assume that you guys could just come over to the football field and just adapt and adjust so easily, so seamlessly, that's to me disrespectful to guys that are doing this shit at the highest level. Like less than 1% of guys make it to the NFL. Really talented college football players who played at D1 levels, a la me, we did not make it to the NFL. And we do this shit and did it at a very high level, but just still wasn't good enough to go to the NFL.
But look, dog, this is a fucking sport with no gear that you load manage in. You shut up. Like, he has no fucking say in this. Like, you load manage, motherfucker, with no gear on. And you get to fucking play. You can play a sport back-to-back, tells you the difference. Period. You can play back-to-back games in the NBA. That's what they do. Yeah. It's a difference. You can't play back-to-back NFL fucking games. Number one. Number two, he said a jump shot is harder than all that.
Yeah,
Can you imagine a motherfucker saying a jump shot is harder than tackling fucking Barry Sanders one-on-one in open field? Get the fuck out of here. You imagine him saying a jump shot's harder than guarding fucking Randy Moss one-on-one in the red zone? Do you imagine him saying that filling B gap against fucking Derrick Henry is harder than hitting a jump shot? Get the fuck out of here. It's not like hitting a baseball. We could have a real argument. Hitting a baseball, I think, is the hardest thing of any sport to do. Now, that would be one thing. Shooting a fucking dog, if I got enough shots, I'll make one. I don't think I'm guarding Randy Moss one-on-one or tackling Barry Sanders. Like, it was a horrible take by Lemon Lou. he should stick to titty bars and fucking lemon pepper chicken. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played at the highest level, so I'm not sure I'm particularly regarded to answer. That said, neither of these sports.
But we haven't got your take on this 30 for 30 yet because we didn't get you last week because you refused to come on the show. So go ahead.
Neither of these athletes can play soccer. So I don't really, let's just remember that. Soccer is the craziest sport to play. None of these fucking athletes can do that. I know that.
Or hockey.
Right. Some other sports are crazy. Soccer's wild. Have you ever seen how big a soccer field is? Like Real Madrid and Bro, it's nuts.
It's a football field and a half wide, and it's
It's
40
insane.
yards longer. 40 yards longer.
And it's 90 minutes up. There's no, timeouts.
And you get extra time added.
It could even be 95, 96 minutes. Like, look at how go watch a real soccer match, like a Barcelona Real Madrid. They're fucking, it's insane. The kicks, the way they can head the ball. It's crazy.
Hey, Jeff, and Smitty, here's a take from a guy that's a legend that played in the NBA. Listen to this.
Y'all tomorrow. I'm like, wait. We not practicing. We're not doing this tomorrow. I'm not doing this shit tomorrow. No. And he says, we got practice tomorrow. I said, yeah, coach. Yeah. I said, here's my uniform. I'm not doing this tomorrow. This is just stupid. I'm like, I just ran into a dude for like 2 hours. And I'm hurting, and you said we got to do the same thing tomorrow. I was like, and my friend used to make fun of me. He's like, yo, man, you play football one day. One day. It didn't take me many times to learn. That one day was enough for me.
So you pretty much gave the white glove service to your coach and just told him, look, man, you can have this uniform, this helmet, because I'm finna go over here and pick up this basketball.
Well, he did come back to me later. He says, I probably should have put you at a different position.
What position? He had you at D-line?
He had me at D-line where you get hit every play.
You're supposed to do the hit in that D-line, though.
Well, first of all, you don't know the snap count. So they have an advantage on you.
So
Real.
one of the greatest, most physical forwards ever at 6'4", who was dunking on fucking Shaq and Kevin and fucking the Admiral back in the day, like two-hand tomahawk, says he couldn't do it. But we have 30 guys now who can do it. See, Austin Rivers just keeps doing it. Matt Barnes came out. I'm going to do a video later about it. Matt Barnes, if he would have been the first one to say it, I wouldn't have had the same issue I have with Austin Rivers because Matt played high school football, was really, really good. Could have been a Division I receiver, tight end type. My buddies played with him up in Northern California. So he has full autonomy to give his opinion on both. I think if he would have been the first guy to do it and an advocate for both, he's also said there's no way 30 guys can play, but he thinks it's easier to transition from NBA to NFL, which I totally disagree with as well. He used Tony Gonzalez, Jeff, and Antonio Gates as two outliers. But Tony Gonzalez is a football guy first. I don't know if Matt knows that. And Antonio Gates played high school in Detroit, football in Detroit. There's a difference. There's not a lot of guys that just never played football. They're acting like these guys never played football and then just came over to the NFL and dominated like Tony and Antonio Gates. No, they were football guys first. So, there hasn't been. Charlie Ward showed what he could do from the NFL, from football, and played 15 years in the fucking NBA. There's a difference, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I think it's ironic.
So for you, last thing, is it more so the messenger for you and less the message? For me, it's the message. I don't give a fuck who said it.
It's both.
Oh, okay.